What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Listen, today we're gonna be reacting to a different video. I'm saying, yo, I go on this channel, I'm gonna be like doing different type of videos. I'm not sticking to like one type of video or like one niche. I feel like what I mean, we could really just do everything for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I trust in myself that I could. But listen, yo, today we're gonna be reacting to a very sensitive topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, right? A lot of people rather just not say nothing about it, or either it affects them, but they just don't want to speak about on it, right? Which is, fapping and watching, the hub and stuff like that. So I'm not even read the title, right? Matter of fact, I will. How does how does prawn affect your future? Now, let's get into it. I will speak on it. I can speak on it good enough because I have experienced it myself, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Let's get into it. Okay.
I masturbate 1,000 times a day. I can masturbate a burst of 12 times.
Yeah, and then
Well, times a day, bro. What are you doing? No, like honestly, like bro, you must be wasting time at this point. Like, what are you doing with your time? Like, how important is your time, bro? There's no way you have that much time to touch yourself. Honestly, I don't get 12 times a day.
if you do
Shit.
this 3 times a day, bro, you're constantly stuck in this state of, oh, job done.
It is a disturbing.
But you see, it's easy. That's why, because it's so easy. So then you constantly rely on it because it's easy. You don't have to put in no work. But versus if you have to go out and approach a young lady, that's different. That's work, right? It's not as easy, and then you go and talk to her, you might just get a number. You might get rejected one time, two times, three times, four times. Probably that fifth or sixth girl you might get. So it's not that easy, but just going on the internet, typing, putting it on your keyboard, and just watching it is very simple. That's the easy thing. There's nothing hard about that. Everybody could do that, right? You don't take no social skills, nothing to do that. Once it come to your brain, you just type it in, that's it. But and that's what a lot of the young people struggle with, bro. Is a lack of they lack the social this in general. They don't go outside. And the reason why I can speak on it because I was the same way as well, especially like in high school. It was the same thing. I wasn't going nowhere. I didn't do no activities. I didn't play no sports. I just went to school, come home, eat junk food, and that's it. That's all I did. And just fat. That was it, bro. There was nothing more to me than just that. Till when I started realizing, okay, I'm getting older. I gotta stop doing this. This is not benefiting me. And when I slowed down on it, and I started realizing like, okay, yo, let me actually try to speak to a young lady. Let me actually step outside of my comfort zone and actually do it, actually approach. And I'm okay if I get rejected. That's the thing. You must accept rejection. That's fine because that is a part of life. That's how you learn. That's how you see how can I get better. So then you have to get out of that mindset of let me stop fapping. Let me actually approach a young lady and try to talk to her. Try to have conversation. Try to hold a conversation with her. Right? That's a little difficult, but that take time. But if you start approaching and you can learn from your mistakes and see where you're wrong and see what you can do to get better in the future. Right? But I'm telling you, G, it's hard, G, but just do it. It's better in the long run it's gonna be better. It's gonna serve you better if you do that instead of just fapping all day. Let's continue.
Issue, but one that is growing. The production of millions of pornographic images of children being sexually abused.
You build that monster inside your head.
That's right.
So I can see where you're going on the pornography.
People are addicted to it. It is the modern day cigarette.
Big increase in web pages hosted in Singapore.
This V card is extremely important to me. Representation of somebody's virginity.
People invest more into a photo on social media than they invest into real.
And you gotta understand, like society is like They trying to normalize it in a way that these things could be okay to be on the internet. Because 20, 40, 50 years ago, that wasn't a thing. You actually had to do work to go get it. You had to go to the store, make sure you was 18 plus to get it. You don't have that anymore. Now you just can go on your phone, type it in. There's no security. So you just can type it in and do whatever you want. So therefore it's easier. And that's why the generation's so dependent on it. Because there's no work. You don't have to go to the store. Where they would actually, okay, we need some sort of ID to see that you're actually of age to consume this type of content. They don't have that anymore. So therefore it's just like it's everywhere. And people are literally abusing it. And that's why it's a problem. That's why it's a problem. And that's why our generation having the less intimacy out of like all the other generations. Let's really be honest, bro. That's how much it's affecting us. They ain't gonna stop
Real
me, I ain't
life.
gonna lie.
So masturbation is not a natural need. Unless you can procreate with your hand, then there's no way that masturbation could be something that's naturally occurring. People do it as somewhat of a shortcut to actual sex. The actual natural need is for you to go out and meet a partner, marry them, and then mate with them, and that's how you like actually procreate. So that's something that could be a natural need, but as far as masturbation with your own hand, that makes
And one thing too, it kills it kills your social life like bad. It kills it so bad to the point where you don't even want to go nowhere. Like you like you actually don't even want to enjoy like the simple things or like going outside, going to the park. You don't even enjoy these things anymore. You don't. Then it's like, oh man, I just fapped. Then you get tired. Then you're like, oh, let me rest. That's what you feel like shit all day. Who wanna feel like that? Instead of going out, they go to the park. You make friends, but you find a young lady, you chop it up with her, or you just let's say you pass a random person on the street and just make conversation with them. Hey, how you doing? Like small things like that build up. You don't have to have a full conversation, but if you start by saying, "Hey, how you doing? Or what's going on, man?" Like simple stuff like that builds up your conversation skills, but time on time, you keep doing it, it grows. It elevates slowly and slowly. You start from, hey, how you doing to I'm doing good, how are you? And then you respond back and then you start having a conversation. You don't even know the person. But your conversation start to flow. Right? Just because you build it from the beginning, from like a small just, hey, how you doing to oh now we having a full blown conversation. I'm getting to know this person. Right? Men or women. That's just how it is. And you have to get out of that mindset, but of just constantly consuming this. You have to. It's very challenging, I understand. But you have to stop. You have to. You have to stop. Please, I'm begging you, because it will not serve you well in the future. I'm telling you, it won't.
absolutely no sense. I doubt that could ever be a natural need. It becomes an addiction when you can't stop doing it. When you try to stop doing it and then you realize that you failed 3, 4, or 5 times in the future, even though you told yourself that this was the last time that you were going to do it. The unfortunate truth is that this is happening to people at especially younger and younger ages as the time goes on because of the ease of access to pornography. Now, the true main issue that makes masturbation itself a problem is the access to pornography.
Yo, I tell you when it's really a problem. Tell you when you're not taking part in nothing sexual and it comes to your mind, like randomly, like you could be doing something productive and it just comes to your mind just randomly. That favorite scene you watch, it just comes to your mind. You're like, damn, hold on. Just random, it's out of the blue. That's when you know you're addicted to it. Because there's no way you're working and doing something productive and that just comes to your mind. That's when you know, okay, I really gotta let it go. That's when it's really a problem. That's when you really gotta let it go. That's when you really gotta let it go. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's when it's really a problem. And that was the wake up call for me. When I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I can't be consuming that on a consistent basis. Like I gotta stop. But the choice is yours, man. The choice is yours.
Usually people won't be diving deep into doing it by themselves unless there's something that would easily stimulate them. That's not natural. That is not restricted in most countries, and that has ease of access to millions of videos upon hours and hours and hours, every single category that they want.
The brain is a learning prediction machine. If your brain learns to be aroused by watching other people have sex, it is not necessarily going to carry over to the ability to get aroused when you're one-on-one with somebody else.
Usually it starts off as something that's very, very calm, very, very simple, and then it turns into something
that's so true. Because then, let's say you fap on a consistent basis. When you actually get the chance to, call with a young lady, you won't be aroused. Just like he said, the mind is a machine, and you put it and you make it work the way you by the things you do. So if you consistently watch this, consistently consume this stuff, then your body will your mind controls your body, right? So then your mind will say, okay, that's what arouses me. That turns me on. Right? So when two people having intercourse, that's gonna naturally turn you on. If you see somebody getting abused in it, that's what's gonna turn you on. Which leads into the whole cucking situation. Right? If you being it leads into you being a cuck as well. If you actually look at it, because then you're watching another man enjoy a woman and you get pleasure from that. So that is a level of getting cucked if you really look at it. It actually is. But I don't think people are really ready for this kind of conversation. But let's continue though.
It's a lot more erotic and explicit, and actually ends up ruining their life and their relationships because they continue to have this more and more objectified perception on women, and that's how they usually see them. Both thing works for both genders, but usually I see this happening to most of the young men, especially in this day and age. So it becomes a problem when you just can't stop. And the unfortunate truth is that most people really can.
So the harms of pornography are nearly infinite. For example, the first one is that it's extremely addictive.
Like at no point in human history have we been able to do a quick search online from the comfort of our own pocket. It's been able to look at millions and millions of hours of unrestricted access to any kinds of videos of people having sex on our phones as we want. That's entirely unnatural. Our ancestors, our grandparents, have never seen as many naked people as we have seen in our day and age within nearly 5 minutes.
Especially young kids who are consuming a lot of pornography, the brain is learning sexual arousal to other people having sex.
So you're going to program yourself into being a voyeur?
Eventually to a point where you actually have something called PIED, porn-induced erectile dysfunction, which I know somebody in real life that actually does have this, where they really just can't do the real thing anymore because they're so used to doing it to a video and watching a girl that has like extremely physically exaggerated elements that are not natural or real in any sense. So the only thing that can make this person get in the mood is something that's not even real. So they're living in this fantasy land where their body's not even working properly, they probably can't even procreate, and they're gonna have a horrible marriage because of their addiction and viewership of pornography.
So the objectification of people, especially women, the sexual assault, the harmful addictive acts, where it increases the amount of dopamine that you need to feel satisfied even deeper every single time. For an example, if you start off on a basic video, you end up going into something a lot more deep as time does go on because of your dopamine receptors being numbed in your brain, or that when something a level 1 would kind of get you excited, not something a level 15 has to get you excited, and it just does not end there.
The higher the dopamine peak, the bigger the drop afterwards. And it's not that you drop to baseline, you drop below baseline.
Dr. Lawrence American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology shows us what happens to your brain when you watch porn using SPECT scanning.
This is a scan of a sex addict brain, an 18-year-old sex addict brain. And we compare that to a normal brain. And at the naked eye, we can tell this is not normal. Now, if we compare that to someone who has cocaine addiction, this is a person who has cocaine addiction. As you can tell, in the prefrontal cortex and the parietal lobe, they're very similar, although you don't see the top part of this brain. The scalloping is about the same if we looked at this sagittally. This person's just not using as much brain because they're used to using the sex and other things to make their brain active. So the excitement of pornography. So we'll see a lot of the same deactivation from cocaine and sexual.
Yo, and when you do it like for so long, like the amount of like brain fog you have is insane, bro. Like the level of brain fog you get just by just consuming it consistently, you cannot think clearly. You can't. Like you try to think of like you try to use your critical thinking and you can't because you're so accustomed, bro. Like you're so accustomed to this watching this consistently on a consistent basis. And it just throws off your whole brain, bro. You can't even think straight. Shit is crazy, bro.
Addiction, you can tell again from someone who's a normal brain, we obviously don't see that degree of scalloping. It takes over the mind.
Yeah, this does definitely open the doors to a lot more erotic and harmful, even illegal acts done by people. Because the videos that we're watching now, they're actually showing videos that are replicating, they're not actually in the videos, but they're like replicating people that are under the age of 18. They're replicating people doing extremely nasty things that are illegal in many, many states. The people in the videos aren't actually doing it, they're just acting as if they are. So now the viewers that are watching this are feeling more inspired to actually do these things, like commit harmful acts of like sexual assault, or to commit acts of like perverted acts and something of that sort, because they're seeing this in the video and it's becoming their actual norm now. So like I said, it always starts off as something very simple, then ends up leading to something that's actually illegal in a sense. So for an example, the categories can be anywhere from having like minors or like alleged minors in the videos, which actually the biggest companies are actually being sued for right now at the moment. Or they can be replicating something as far as rape, what people find desirable, and that's actually giving them more stimuli to go out and do it in real life because they're finding these videos easily accessible in their own phones. And it's also showing stuff like assault and violence, domestic abuse, and all of the above. Even though it's not actually happening in the video or the actors are okay with it, the concept, the ideology itself is being shown and is being glorified throughout these videos, which is making people a lot more aggressive and higher chances of committing sexual assault.
Can my brain heal after I quit pornography? Yes, you can heal.
Yo, you could heal, but it's like it's gonna take time because then now you have to like almost like rewire your brain. Like your routine has to change like dramatically, right? And I think one thing that really helped me is like doing some of the things I know I have to do, like work out, eat good, go outside, spend time with family, right? Make my YouTube videos, like work on my other businesses, like all these small things like help me, right? So things that's gonna give me like a more of like a clearer mind, especially like working out. Working out is a big thing, and you like the more you work out, like the better you feel about yourself. It boosts your self-esteem naturally, right? Versus if I was just just fapping all day. And yes, it's hard to get in that routine of just working out consistently, but you have to, like I say, you have to rewire your brain. You have to train your mind to get into that. Is that routine of consistently doing it, consistently eating better, consistently drinking my water, consistently working out, consistently working on my business, consistently trying to learn something new all the time. Instead of just looking at this screen, just dying in the screen. Go outside, speak to people. Right? Like all these small things, like it help you. The more like you go and you try and try and you try, like it will help you. You will see a difference. I guarantee you will see a difference. It will. But you just gotta come out the mind of like, okay, let me stop doing this. Let me actually try to do better with myself. Let's continue.
Heal. The good news for addicted porn users is that the brain resets with sobriety. The reward system eventually, usually around the 1-year mark, returns to baseline. Feed your brain with the right images and healthy habits. And of course, by staying away completely from watching pornography.
During addiction, the number of brain receptors decrease because of exposure to excessive amounts of dopamine. This causes people to take less pleasure than ordinary people. Those who quit masturbating experience an increase in their dopamine receptors to their natural state after a short period. They start to enjoy their life and activities like traveling, chatting with their friends, and going out like everybody else.
And tell you what, that's actually a good thing, because then it shows you like it changes your mind, it changes your perspective, because then you see the simple things in life. I didn't enjoy the simple things in life because I take it for granted. Because I was busy doing something that's not gonna bring me any fulfillment, any true fulfillment. Yes, I might feel good in that moment when I do it, but in the long run, is it really benefiting me? Am I really gonna feel good? And that's the importance of this thing. Like, you need to know like where you stand with this thing. You have to know. You have to know, okay, is that's not benefiting my life in no way. Why am I keep doing it? Because every time I do it, I feel like shit. Why am I keep consuming or indulging in that type of content? Why? You have to ask yourself these questions. You have to. Right? So don't be a fool and just say, "Oh man, I'm good when I do it." No, you're not good. You're not good. Stop lying to yourself, please. Change your life. Better yourself. Become a better person. Just go out there, speak to women, brother. Go out there, make friends. Go outside. Stop staying inside for like so long. It's literally gonna kill you. And I mean that, it will kill you. You're gonna be depressed, you're gonna have suicidal thoughts. Like, go outside, get some sunlight, meet new people, make new friends. I mean, keep stressing like you have to do these things. You have to do it. Yes, you might not feel like it, but do it. Put your phone down and do it. And that's the end of the video. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.